My education here at Savini was huge in like kind of launching my career.
Nice shot!
I'm Eric Zapata and I'm a special effects makeup artist. I remember the exact moment I found Savini, the school. I'd always known about Tom and his work because I was a fan of Friday the 13th, but I had the box set, the DVD box set of Friday the 13th, and there's a whole special feature on that. And they like toured the school on the DVD, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is that? Like, I didn't even realize there were schools for it at the time, and as soon as I saw him do the tour and show off the students' work, I was sold. My education here at Savini was huge in like kind of launching my career. At the beginning of things, I had an internship working for Bob Kurtzman. At the time, he had a shop in Ohio, and my skills from here were enough to show them like I was passionate about it. And I think that's what you gain here more than anything, is you gain an appreciation and a passion for everything, because there's so many things you can't possibly become a master at all of them, but you can show people that you mean business. I worked on a movie called John Dies at the End. They let me sculpt like a piece of meat, basically, that would like be part of the meat monster suit. And I sculpted like, I think it was a ham, like half of a ham or something. And it was so goofy, but at the same time I was like, this is everything I want. You know, like I'm sculpting something for a monster suit that's gonna be in a movie that they shot out in LA. And that was probably my proudest thing there, only because I know my work ended up on screen. After Bob's shop, I moved to Austin, Texas. I'm from Texas originally, and I had always heard that there was a film scene there, you know, with Robert Rodriguez and Richard Linklater and stuff like that. In that time, like at the beginning, I'm doing more like short films and like super low budget indie movies, just to kind of prove my chops to the community there. Eventually, you're gonna come across people who work on bigger projects, because even in the off season, they're doing like little gigs too. And once they learned what I could do, and that, you know, it wasn't just like a gore guy, like I could do prosthetics and I could do beauty makeup too, they you know, would call me for work. Maybe like 3 or 4 years into Austin, I get a call from the producers of Face Off to audition for the show. Like, they were scouting people, and I never wanted to do it, but they knocked on my door. So it was for season 4, and you know, I never wanted to do it because I just figured I'd be terrified on national television doing this stuff, and I'm glad it happened, and that somebody like kind of, you know, they gave me the call and pushed for me to do it, because I don't think I would have ever done that on my own. The biggest thing that I took away from Face Off was I was humbled as an artist, because, you know, you can come from a smaller market or from school where, like, you know, you're probably one of the top students, but then you get out into the real world and you realize like there's thousands of people who do this and they're really good at it. And, you know, you can either feel like, oh man, I'm never gonna measure up to these people and give up, or you can like rise to the challenge and like get better, and that's what we're always constantly doing. But yeah, Face Off, it helped me really quickly learn like, okay, I'm not the best at this, but I want to become better, and I'm gonna push myself to become better. Like Tate Steinzek, who was a Savini student, we became friends through that show, and Tate has given me work over the years because we met each other and we're in the trenches, you know, so to speak, on Face Off, and he knew I could do stuff quick and that I could do good work, and, you know, we gelled our personalities. And so tons of people on that show I've worked with, Ian Cromer, Wayne Anderson, lots of incredible artists who also are just, you know, in my opinion, incredibly talented, and who I've learned from over the years. I was able to get on Fear the Walking Dead because I heard that the production was coming to Austin, and I knew K&B did all the effects for all the Walking Dead shows, and I just kind of made it a goal of mine to try to get my foot in that door, but I didn't really know how, because I didn't know an artist with K&B yet. So the first season they were in Austin, I just did the background makeup in the regular makeup department. And then the next season I had the courage to send in my portfolio and resume to the department head for K&B. And I ended up because I was on the show, I got the crew list, and I was able to get his email from the crew list, and I just, bit the bullet and sent him my work, my portfolio, my resume, and he gave me a call back, and I was on set maybe like 2 days later, not doing background, but doing Walker makeups. And not long after doing Walker's, they offered me to do Dwight's makeup, who was a character that came over from Walking Dead. It was a huge jump from like doing the monsters to doing a burn victim makeup that has to look realistic and it has to look consistent on camera constantly. So it was a right place at the right time kind of situation. I was mostly on it when Dwight was playing. So yeah, in between that, I did other projects. I did commercials. Commercial work kept me very busy in Austin. A lot of commercials get shot there. And some indie feature films as well. I remember having my portfolio review here when I was a Savini, and that moment was so big for me. Like, I still have memories from that moment. I jumped at the opportunity to kind of like be that memory for some of these like artists who are about to like enter the industry. I was honestly blown away by the talent from some of these students. It's just, some of the raw talent is there, and the way that it translates into their like makeup effects work or their prop work is they're already on their way. I was on a project recently where I was out in LA, and I was using collodion, like rigid collodion, which is just such an old school technique, but I love using it. And the first time I ever used it was here at Savini. So I cracked open my rigid collodion, and it just has this distinct smell that just like hits your nostrils. And I opened it, and there was a makeup artist in the room who was like, man, that collodion smell reminds me of going to Savini. And I was like looking over my shoulder, like, who said that? And it just out of nowhere, like, and that's the same smell that I associate with the school too, but it was just one of those things where we didn't know we both went to Savini, but we did. And as soon as we realized it, it was just like, I knew I was gonna get along with that person because we had so much in common already, knowing the program, and it's very much the same, and I love that because knowing the experience is the same mostly across the board. It's just like something we can always connect on, and it's fun finding out who that is throughout your career. I'm just really happy to be here. Thank you, and I'm really grateful to the school for having me do this. It's really important for me to share as much knowledge as I can. I've had some really great artists do the same for me over the years, and if I can do that for people starting out, that's really something special to me.